So the majority of people that support Trump, right, are people that are usually low wage, people that are living on the poverty line in these red states and everything. So if you're cutting off all of these benefits, cuts to Medicare, cuts to Medicaid, all of your supporters live off of that.
Yeah.
And so if you lose popularity, you can't do a fascistic regime with 20% of the popularity vote. That's not going to happen. The only way Hitler was able to do it, oh shit, the one who was not named, should not be named. He basically did it by getting everybody in the country to love him. So this is not going to last very long if you think this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And there's multiple things going on. Like he's anti-war, but like now there's like warships on the Venezuelan border.
Yeah.
And the Caribbean Sea. We've actually just hit the record number of bombings in Yemen, and it's only fucking September, as of today. And so not Yemen, but as Somalia.
Yeah. It's first year. What is it? The 8th month of the first year of the second term. So we're still in the first. Like, it feels like it was so long ago that Trump took office. It was literally just a few months ago. It was this year.
Yeah, dude. He's like fucking speedrun this bitch.
Yeah, speedrunning to the end of the world.
But I would be speedrunning if I was fucking dying too.
Which,
you know what I mean?
That's the news of the weekend. If you're listening to this shortly after it comes out, there's been all these rumors in circulation that Trump is dead. That was like the thing. It's like a weekend at Bernie situation where because nobody's seen him all weekend on like a pretty. It's Labor Day weekend, right? So we're filming this on Monday, September 1st, which is Labor Day. We both had the day off. Shout out to Labor. And everyone's like, well, why hasn't Trump been seen?
Well, this dude can't go without 2-3 days without being on camera and saying something egregious. And
that was the shady part, was that there was all these health rumors, and then so in response to that, he posted a photo, but the photo he posted was a week-old photo of him golfing last weekend, and everyone's like, that's way more sus. If like his account posts a photo of him from last weekend.
Yes. Or something like that. It might even been before.
Or what, but like obviously an existing photo of him golfing with that football person or whatever.
Yeah, because if he went golfing, right, they probably not just post a photo of him that day. But really, there was just a video of him arriving at the golf field and nothing else. Yeah. And the entire time, dude was limping. I mean, his right leg, he was like dragging that shit. Like,
I mean, I don't think he's dead, but I think he's not very photogenic right now, because those photos of his hands and stuff. You had more information on that. Do you want to kind of explain
so
what's going on
from
there?
like all the information that I gathered, there's a lot of things going on, right? So apparently this has been going on for a while. As we all know, with the whole hand blemish thing. Also, if you have state-of-the-art everything. You're the United States government, and you couldn't find the same skin tone. Well, not even the same, but the same tanning tone that this motherfucker uses. You couldn't find the same tanning tone and made it like less obvious. You know, like they made it as obvious as hell. He's orange. They're like, let's put gold on his hand, right? And all these images, you'll notice that they come out about the 24th, 25th of every single month. That's when it actually happens. So they're saying, okay, he's getting monthly doses of some sort of IV infusion. And like, okay, so we look at like his most recent meds that was put out by the White House. And there was 2 other things on there that was not of previous. I can't remember them. But one thing that really stuck out to me was the daily aspirin. And if you know anything about modern medicine, most doctors will not prescribe you daily aspirin anymore for heart health. That's kind of outdated. But one thing that daily aspirin does is it's a blood thinner, right? So if you are on blood thinners, usually that's for clotting purposes. If it's for clotting purposes, it explains why he is having these massive bruises every time he gets an IV, because his blood has a hard time, his veins have a hard time clotting. So this is basically a large bruise, because older people will bruise more because they have weaker veins. The clotting is not as sufficient as before. And so alongside of that, he's having a blood thinner taken every single day. It's saying a lot, because usually with a blood thinner, you are trying to make sure you do not have any clots, right? Because if your blood is too thick, you have a higher chance of some sort of cardiac arrest, some cardiovascular complications. And so a lot of professionals are theorizing that he is getting monthly IV infusions to actually get rid of clots throughout his veins, because here's the kicker. Dude's been having mini strokes for a while now. And one thing people are missing is that he might not be dead, but he might have had a bigger stroke recently, and that is why he is not in public eye view anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because when you have a little bit of larger stroke, certain things happen, like you become one side becomes a little looser than the other. Your mouth, your one side of the face is drooping a little bit more. That's fairly common, and so that's honestly my theory.
Yeah.
From the evidence I can take, that he had a larger stroke recently, and because he's been talking about, it's like, I want to be a better person. I don't know if I'm getting into heaven. You know, I don't know if you've seen those interviews.
His tone, like the content of his like recent like ramblings are more like existential and philosophical.
Exactly.
Maybe
So
like he's like worried about dying soon.
So he's worried about dying soon. He's not in public eye anymore. He's got these blemishes from getting supposed IV infusions.
Yeah, because he was diagnosed with what was it called? Something intravenous deficiency.
Yeah, intravenous deficiency. Some sort of deficiency, basically, where your veins are not working.
Chronic venous insufficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me give you a couple quotes about this whole fiasco. Also, we should say that all of this is unconfirmed and speculation, and we're just doing our best guess based on the research that you've done, putting together different sources.
Yes, I'm getting my information from people that are accredited doctors, cardiovascular doctors,
and we are in no way medical professionals.
No, these are just information from cardiovascular doctors theorizing based upon their experience of what could be going on.
Yeah. So here's some quotes from Trump's cabinet, which I think is just so funny. The White House press secretary blames this on how diplomatic he has to be shaking people's hands, and she has said, "quote hold on, this is the quote. Sorry, let me start over. White House press secretary. I'm reading from an article from The Independent. White House press secretary Carolyn Leavitt has previously attempted to brush aside the welts on his hand as a consequence of too much diplomatic handshaking and aspirin consumption, noting that Trump, quote, meets more Americans and shakes their hands on a daily basis than any other president in history, end quote. So she's saying that he shakes more hands than anybody, which is a very Trumpian thing to do. It's like, I shake more hands than anybody.
I've touched more people than anybody you've ever met.
Weird thing to be proud of. And here's his former physician, who is now a Republican representative, Ronnie Jackson. He insisted, I think this was on Twitter, that Trump is, quote, the healthiest president this nation has ever seen, end quote, which is like, just that one's laughable because this dude is like obese. He's like obviously.
Listen, you cannot be 80 years old and about 300 pounds. I don't care what anybody says. That man is about 300 pounds. When you're 6'3" or whatever the fuck he is.
And that big, yeah. He's because I'm 6'2" and I'm not. I don't look too big, but I am kind of overweight. Oh yeah, I'm 210. And I'm only 6'2".
I am 5'9",
yeah,
and I am 260.
Yeah,
right. I'm 5'9", I'm 260.
And Trump is tall.
I got some big legs and shit.
Something.
This motherfucker is larger than me. And he's like half a foot taller than me.
Yeah,
he is
he's
over
definitely 300 pounds. He's 280
easily.
At least. Yeah.
There are how many 80-year-olds that are 300 pounds and walking around
and still
normally?
Doing.
No,
that's still healthy, right?
No, that's not healthy. And then we're gonna miss Obama, that he was in his late 40s when he took office.
Yeah,
he was just playing basketball. When have you seen Trump ever run?
He's golfed. He walks on the golf course, sort of.
He doesn't walk. He hits a ball and somebody picks him up and puts him in a golf cart, bro.
Yeah, watching him walk like to and from like Air Force One back to the door.
Yeah,
or like what's it called, Marine One, the helicopter. Yeah. And it's like it's always so awkward and like I mean it's just he's a deeply unhealthy person.
Absolutely.
So like. It's a miracle, or it's like surprising that he hasn't had any serious health effect that we know about.
Not to mention his fucking diet too.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's my point. It's like it's one thing to be 80. Well, he's 79, I guess, to be fair. It's one thing to be pushing 80 and like obese, but also then to like only eat like high sodium and like junk food and sugar and sodas and shit.
Apparently
McDonald's and Coke or Diet Cokes. Yeah,
he pounds like a 6-pack or 12-pack of Diet Coke a day.
Yeah, that's all he's just sitting there. And like it doesn't matter if his Diet Coke like that is healthy. Like that's still hella sugar and like just.
Well, Diet Coke doesn't have sugar.
It doesn't have no sugar. It has high fructose corn syrup.
No, it doesn't have any. That's why it's diet. That's why it has 0 calories. It has aspartame, which turned to aspartic acid or something like. Anyways,
it's like the stevia, whatever. It's like that artificial sweetener.
Yeah, it's artificial sweetener. But that's not the problem. It's like when you're drinking that many things, because you have to remember how much caffeine is in each one. If he is pounding a 12-pack a day, how much diet? Could you look that up real quick?
Yeah.
How much caffeine in a Diet Coke, in a 12-ounce Diet Coke? Okay, theoretically, let's say it's 40 milligrams. That means 10.
It's 46 milligrams.
46 milligrams. That means if he's pounding a 12-pack, theoretically, he's pounding over 500 milligrams of caffeine a day, all day. And the man is a person who chronically does not sleep. Right. So he's sleeping like 2-3 hours a night, pounding 500 plus milligrams of caffeine a day. I mean, listen, man, I take pre-workout every day. I almost drink a Monster every day, and I'm only sitting at like 350 to 400 milligrams. So this guy's drinking more caffeine than me. He's sleeping 3 hours a night. He's over 300 pounds. He's 80 years old. His diet's absolute garbage, but he's the healthiest president we've ever seen. He can barely stand.
I will say that, not to defend Trump's health habits, but I just looked it up. I said, how much caffeine is too much? And it says more than 600 milligrams of caffeine.
For the average person.
Yeah, that's pushing it. Again, he's 80 and overweight.
Yes, that's
so
what I'm saying.
There's that too.
Well, from what I understand, it's 500 is
and
like,
he's at
that is a safe.
552. If he's drinking 12 of these a day at 46 a pop, that's 552.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Also 12 cans a day. So 3 cans of Coke, 3 cans of 12 ounces, 1 liter. So it's 3 liters of diet soda a day.
It's 4 liters.
369. Oh, it's 4 liters. It's a gallon. It's over a gallon of diet soda a day.
That's kind of gross, dude.
That your kidneys are like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
yeah,
his kidneys are screaming right now.
There's no, I mean, like, yeah, I would be surprised if he's actually drinking 12 every day. Maybe there are days where he drinks 12. Again, not to like be a Trump apologist,
6 to 12, right? Even like 6 to 12. But still, dude, like, Jesus Christ. And it's not just the Diet Coke. Jesus Christ. Let's get off the fucking Diet Coke trend. It's all the things combined together, right? I think that this guy does not have very long. I honestly think we're probably looking like 6 months to a year, right?
You think so?
I almost guarantee it, right? And I'm not a medical professional, but from all the things I've seen, this guy is not going to be alive very long. There's no way. There's no way.
That's an interesting conversation that I think about sometimes. Is that a good thing? Because like Vance, like where you know what I mean? Like what does a Vance presidency look like?
Well, then here we go. Then we get into this. So right,
because like, then you have an LBJ situation of like, does he run again? Does he win? He would be the presumptive Republican nominee in 2028? Yes. Does he win? Like that changes the landscape.
Yes, but it changes if he does die. Right,
if
he does become unalived, I'll have to freaking bleep all this bull crap.
Will we?
Yeah, because you can't say die or kill.
You can't say the word die?
Maybe. Okay. If he's unalived by natural causes or whatever the fucking causes are, he will to be taken over by J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance has the charisma of a semen-soaked pillow.
He's the worst.
Right? Nobody likes this guy. The Republicans don't like this guy, right? The whole reason why this whole thing is taking on for so long is the charisma of Trump, right? Mm-hmm. Is the image of Trump.
Yeah, this cult of Trump.
Right?
Yeah.
This cult of Trump. Well, if Trump has a 28% approval rating right now? Something like that. It's in the 20s. And JD Vance takes over, dude, that shit's going to plummet under 20% because nobody likes JD Vance. How are you going to conduct all this bullshit when you have an under or 20 and under percent rating?
Well, right? I mean, you don't need a high approval rating when you're. I mean, who cares if he's in charge? He's in charge, right? Like he has the rest of the term, which is 3 years.
Yes, but it's kind of like I said earlier. You need the approval of at least a decent amount of people in the country for the country not to go into automatic civil war, right? So I honestly think if he does somehow get unalived, that this country has a chance of actually going into a civil war, right? I don't, and that might be our fucking chance for a full-on revolution.
That's it.
That might be our chance. That might be. So you got to think on the positive side. Glass half full. You know, let the fucker die. Right? Fuck him.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
Let him go. JD Vance is going to be a lot easier.
No, Trump's at 40% currently.
40? No, that's bullshit.
From August 1st, August 40. The Gallup poll conducted from August 1st, August
really?
20.
I've heard it dropped way lower.
Biden was at 49% for the same time. Trump was at 36.
Trump is at 40, bro. There's no way.
That's the Gallup
I don't believe
poll.
it.
That's the Gallup
but
poll.
he's under a fascistic regime. They're going to be manipulating that shit.
They're cooking those. You think they're cooking those numbers?
Absolutely. And
dude, George H.W. Bush at this time in 1989 was at a 69% approval rating.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god. But my whole point is, it's going to be a lot easier taking on JD Vance than it is Donald Trump. It's going to a lot be easier to be getting on those quote unquote moderate Republicans onto like, at least listen, I'm not a fucking Democrat. I've never been a Democrat, nor will I ever be a Democrat, nor will I ever praise Democrats, right? Yeah. Unless they do something like they start pushing for universal health care, I'll be like, this is a good thing. Okay, yeah. Right?
They would, yeah, like we've talked about that before. Like the Democratic Party have to get like real cool about a lot of things real fast.
And they're not.
And they're not gonna.
And they're not going to. And now with Gavin Newsom pushing, God.
Gavin Newsom is being the worst.
God, I fucking hate this fucker. Wait, he's smart though. He's taking,
he's gonna be he's the Democratic. He's got it locked in basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's got that shit locked in because he's like getting so much media exposure now. He's starting it so early. He's just harassing Trump on Twitter, which is like funny, I guess, but like it's still not like what, I don't know. It's like still
it's not what we need. It's not what we need, right? We'd have like the only way to save the Democratic Party is if certain characters like AOC and a couple of like the progressive Democrats start actually developing a little bit more of a leftist political
actual class consciousness.
Yeah, a little bit more class consciousness.
No, I mean like AOC's gone so far the other way. She's gone full like Kristen Sinema of like she was cool at one point maybe, but is now just a total corporate dim.
She got a mouthful of fucking Nancy Pelosi's giant fake tits. Okay, that is basically what's happened. She is bent the knee to Nancy Pelosi, who's also like 92 and still running and still working in Congress.
Yeah, I was like, Nancy Pelosi died, but that was Dianne Feinstein.
No, that was Dianne Feinstein. No,
is Nancy Pelosi running? No, she's not running again. I thought she announced that she's not running again.
No, that's bullshit. She said that last time too, and she ran.
Oh, that's fair.
She literally said that last. Don't believe these people.
I'm gonna look that.
The Democratic Party is controlled opposition, right? This is why we have not seen, even inside of Trump's, supposed medical problems. Why hasn't the Democratic Party been housing on this? Why have they not been like pounding away at the gavels like this guy's not fit? You said Biden wasn't fit. What the hell is Trump doing? I mean, like the dude is literally on infusions on a monthly basis. He's on meds for blood thinners and this and that. But the Republican state media is basically saying this guy's the healthiest president of all time. Turn around and just be like, look, this is all of his records. These are all the meds he's taking. These like, do you not see what's going on? You should be using this as political propaganda from the Democratic side. But it's, again, any smart person would have been doing this, but they haven't been. So it just tells me like you have people that are either 100% controlled opposition, they're super short-sighted, or they simply just don't care, right? So either one of those three. What are we doing? Why are these people not being replaced? And if these people are not being replaced, why are we not starting a new party or ousting the Democratic Party from inside? Oh, wait, we've already tried with people like the Justice Democrats, and look what happened with AOC. Mm-hmm. So this just shows you like it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. We're going to develop into this slow fascistic regime, and we need to develop some sort of class consciousness to either have these Democratic politicians step down, or we're going to step down for them.
Yeah, like I think that like the question has been answered. Like there is no path where reform works, right? You cannot reform the Democratic Party. No. Like it's been showed time and time again that like they are controlled opposition at best, and they are outright like oppositional at worst to like any type of like leftist or progressive movement.
Yeah, like Zohar Mamdani, like literally.
Yeah, they're like trying all they can to stop these people.
Literally fake propaganda.
Actual Democrats are trying like to stop him, right? So like registered Democrats, I should say. So like if you think that they're
putting more time and effort in making sure this guy doesn't get elected than fighting back the literal fascistic regime that we have brewing right now. Yeah. Right. So that's what's killing me.
Yeah. So it's like you should realize now, if you're listening to this and you're still on the fence, or you still think that like Democratic politics is like the lesser of two evils or whatever, like if you still think that there is a path using democratic politics or electoral politics with these two parties,
democracy is dead.
You're mistaken, bud. Democracy is dead. Democracy's been dead. You're just not realizing it. It's now just very obvious. Like it's always been this way.
How much more obvious do we have to make it?
But now it's very much apparent. Yeah.